Hello again, everybody. Sean Bowden here, and this is my workshop number 3 in my OneNote series. This time, though, we're going to add another app within the Office 365 suite called Microsoft Teams. As you can see here, there is an app version, but I'm not really going to be going into that because you have to download this additionally once you have an Office 365 subscription. But it actually functions pretty much exactly the same as what I'm going to show you today. So to get into Microsoft Teams, the first thing you're going to want to do is open up your favorite web browser and log into Office 365. So when you do that, you'll get to your dashboard as usual. Now recently we've been working with OneNote a lot, but today if you go to the right over, you will see Teams. So you're going to click on that. And once you do that, if you're already part of a team, well, then you at least are familiar with what goes on with this. If you're in a Cobb County school, you're probably part of some team somewhere, and so you're familiar with a lot of the functions, but I'm going to go over those today with you as well. But more than anything, I want to show you guys how to create your own team and what different kinds of teams you can make. Some are geared more toward working with your adults, your colleagues, other teachers, and others are working for your students. So I want to do the student version with you more than the adult version with you today. So if you go down here, you've got a few different tabs here. You've got your activity tab, which kind of goes over what's been going on with your different teams, what you've done. You have a chat section where you have your suggested contacts to chat with and things like that. So one of the good things about Teams is it does work on it has a very neat chatting feature. You can type messages, and you can also video chat with someone if you wish to. And then you get to your teams area, and this is where your different teams are. As you can tell, I've got several different teams I'm a part of. And this is also the part where you create your own team. Now, to do that, you have to go down to the very bottom here where it says join or create a team. And you're going to simply click it. And when you click it, you're going to notice a few things will probably pop up. Anything that pops up on here that you don't recognize, well, these are public teams that whoever created them made it public. So yeah, you could go on, you could look around, you could join it if you wanted to, but for the sake of what we're doing today, we're going to focus on creating a private team for your classroom. So we're going to go to this part where the three dots are called create a team. When you click that, it's going to open up a few different options for you. You've got your classes option. This is what we're going to stick with today because this deals with teachers and students. And it actually creates specific channels just for a classroom. Whereas this PLC one, this is for educators within their own community to talk to other educators. It could be within your school, it could be within your school and other schools, but it also has specific sections it creates that deal more with professional learning communities and working with adults. And then you've got a staff members one, which limits it only to your network at your school. Very similarly set up though to the PLC one. And then you've got an anyone public team, and this is for if you wanted to reach out like way outside of your school for other interest groups. So we're going to go with classes today. And when you do this, you're going to type a name of your team notebook. So I'm just going to call this test notebook 1. So, and you can, if you want to put in a description, you could. And it says create a team using an existing team as a template. If you already had a team created, you could do that, but I'm not going to do that this time around. I'm just going to show you how to start by adding your own students. So you're going to click next, and it's going to create my team here. Okay, so now that it has created our team, it's going to give you the options to either search for students or search for teachers. So if you had a co-teacher you worked with, or you're working collaboratively with any other teacher, or parapro, this would be a place to type in their names. Now, I am a Cobb County school teacher, and so whatever network you're in, only names of people within your network are going to pop up in this because I made it a class notebook. Now, if I wanted to reach outside my school, I would have gone to the anyone option when I created my team. But so I'm going to search for my students. So I would first start by typing in the first name of one of my students, and lo and behold, it pops right up at the top of the screen. And I would click that student if I wanted to add him as part of my group. Now I would do this. There is no way to type a full list and then copy and paste with Teams like there was with OneNote. So you do have to type them in one at a time, but it is a fairly It is a fairly quick process as long as you have your names in front of you. And once you type in the first few letters of the name, it will start self-populating with people all of those names, and you can just simply click and add. And the same thing can be said for teachers. So if I wanted to add my co-teacher, I would start typing her name, and there she is right there. And when I'm done, I would click add, and there she is there. And it's now doing this. And whenever you do a teacher, you have the option to make that teacher an owner, or you have the option to make that teacher a member. Owners can edit everything on the team. Members can simply only do what the students can do. So just whether, depending on how you want that to be, will be how that works. So, and when I'm done, I'm going to click close, and lo and behold, my team has been created. Now, every time you create a class notebook, you're given four basic tabs. Now, up here, these are tabs. And then over here, if I go to my team, anything underneath my team, this is what they call a channel. I can add extra channels if I wish. The way that I would add extra channels is I would click these three dots here, and I would go to Add Channel. Adding a channel would basically create a whole other section complete with a new set of tabs and a new file section, a new class notebook session, a new assignment session, and all that stuff. You'd only want to do that if you're really trying to build something huge here. But for now, since we're just beginning, we're going to just leave it with one channel. But within the channel, there are four tabs. So the Conversations tab is where you can start a new conversation with people. And all you got to do here is literally say, hey, how are you? And when you do it this way, you're going to be typing to the entire class. The entire class is going to see what you type. And you would click the send button, or you could click enter to enter that message. I'm not going to do that for now. But doing this, you can format with these options. You could format what you're going to say by clicking different fonts. You can draw in there. You could attach files. You could put in emojis. You can add GIF files, which are graphics files that are moving and stuff. People are all about those now. You could add a sticker to it. You click that. You got different stickers you could put in for fun. And of course, there's the video chat button. If I want to video chat with someone, I would simply click that. It's going to ask you, can I use your microphone and your camera? Click allow if you would like for it to. And it's going to turn everything on. And you see my face right now. And if I wanted to schedule a meeting with someone, I would click meet now. And it's going to connect out, and it's going to show you a big picture of my face. And if anyone was currently online, I would be able to click their name. But if I could not find them, and there she is right there, the one coworker I added, I would click her, and I would ask her to join. I'm not going to do that now because I don't want to call her as part of this video, but that's all I would do. And once that happens and she connected, you can talk to each other through video chat as you would on Skype. All right, so let's get out of this. I'm going to click Teams again to get out of that. And I am going to end this call. And that's how the video chat function works on that. All right, and so the conversation, and then the additional dots here, you've got some different options you can do. You can search videos on YouTube, share articles, look at stocks, and things like that. But that's getting a little too complicated. So the file section this is where you can add some different you can either do a new type of document and create it on the fly, or you can upload an already created document, and this is where you would attach a file of some sort. And once you do that, this is a place where you can sit and discuss. And I'm deleting this because I don't need this. This is a place where you can sit and discuss and even work to create files together with your class. It's a good option for that. Class notebook, I'm going to skip this for now because I'm going to come back to this at the end to talk about this. This is actually your OneNote, and we're going to talk about how the OneNote in this works both within teams and outside of teams. So skip over the class notebook for now. Assignments. This is the fun stuff for teachers. This is where you can actually go in and you can create an assignment outside of teams, like with a Word document or a PDF document or a PowerPoint or whatever you would like, and assign it to the kids. And the way you would do so is you would go to create, and you would go to new assignment or new quiz. New quiz option, we're not going to get into that too much today, but you can use a cool little quiz maker within Teams for that. But if you have one already created, you can just go to new assignment. And as you can see, it says assign to, and I've got test team 1. If I wanted to assign this to a different class as well, of other teams I've got, I could do that. And I could do it to all students or just specific students. I got a due date here. I can change the due date to any date I want, any time I want over here with the time button. And it says schedule to assign later. This is if you want to like delay the assignment. Late turning allowed, or you're gonna allow them to turn things in. And then the points options here, do you want to give them a grade? So you would say out of 100 points. So I would definitely do that if you're planning to grade it. If you had a writing assignment or a rubric-based assignment, here's where you would add a rubric. Of course, if you do that, you've got to already have the rubric either available, or you could do a new one. If you do a new one, you could create your own with a little creator here, or if you had your own, you would then upload it from the upload option. Here's where you would type in the name of your assignment. You could add a category to it. You could maybe say math, you could say social studies, whatever subject you're doing. Here you would give specific directions for completing the assignment, and the add resources button, well, this is the part where you actually add the assignment they're doing. So if I was adding the assignment they're doing, you can go into your OneDrive, and I like my OneDrive specifically. So if I want them to do, oh, I don't know, say a math assignment, I'm going to go to my created math assignments, and here's a 2x2 multiplication practice. And this is what I want there. This is what I want them to do. So students can edit their own copy of this, and that's what I want them to do. It's not going to mess with my original, but they can edit their own copy, and they can submit it when they're ready to go. So I'm going to click save on that. And now that I've got that ready to go, normally you have to type in a title of an assignment, and the assign button should highlight purple. So I'm going to call this multiplication 2x2, and I'm gonna click assign. And once I click assign, this assignment is ready to go. And so now all the students that I had on this team will be able to see this assignment. And now it, as you see, is given an update. Anytime something like this happens, it will give an update to anybody that's part of the team. My coworker is probably going to be asking me what is this all about, but I'll just explain things to her later on. Okay, so those are your main assignment tabs and conversation tabs. Now, Class Notebook, this is where OneNote comes in. Class Notebook is essentially it's another class notebook, and your previously created class notebooks you cannot import into Teams. I'm going to repeat that. You cannot import your already created notebooks, class notebooks, into Teams. But it does create a fresh notebook for you, and any students you added to the class notebook will automatically be on this class notebook. So if I click that, the first thing it's going to do is it's going to ask me to create it. So it's going to say set up a OneNote class notebook. Once I do that, it's going to do the same process here that it normally does in OneNote. It's going to say, hey, here's a collaboration space where the teachers and students can edit content. Here's the content library where only the teacher can edit content. Students can view it and download their own. And then you get your student notebooks. And it says, once I do that, I'm going to click next, and then here's the student's private space: handouts, class notes, homework, quizzes. If you don't like some of these sections, you can get rid of them. You can add a different one and call it something else if you would like to. And once you're done, let's just call this fun stuff. Once you're done, you're going to click create. And so it's going to get my class notebook ready. And as it's doing that, I'll show you one that I already created on my other one. So my other one, my class notebook, once I get it open up, you will see that it looks the same as, here's an expand tab. I'm going to expand it so we can see a little more of it. It looks very similar to the other one. In fact, if you have a class notebook option, you can go and you can manage this. If you click manage notebooks or distribute page and stuff, it goes into your actual OneNote stuff over here. So here, this is what you're going to see here. I'm going to go to home, and to open up the tabs, you actually have to click this arrow button on here. And over here, as you see, I have my collaboration space. In my collaboration space, I have an area where the kids can start typing things. I have my content library. Apparently, I can't open this for editing right now. Great. Stop. Aha. There it goes. Okay, so, and as you see, I have a content library where I can have my content and things like that. So it works exactly the same way. And as you see, I have my students here and they have their different tabs. They have classwork, homework, quizzes, which is what I have on my personal one. So now the other one that I just made should be ready to go. So if I go to that class notebook I just made, it should be a very simple class notebook. And this has the same functions. Here we go. Got my welcome station. I click that. Okay, there's my collaboration space, my content library. I've got no students because if you remember when I was creating this notebook, I didn't add any students. But any students you add to your team will automatically be imported into this OneNote notebook, which makes it to where you don't have to do the same thing twice. So that is a very good thing. Now, before I said you couldn't import a notebook you already made into Teams. Well, the good thing though is I can edit my OneNote notebooks that I made in Teams in OneNote, and that includes OneNote Online, it includes OneNote for Windows, and it includes OneNote 2016. You just got to make sure that you've named it something that you can recognize. And so right now I'm going to go to the one that I've made in my personal team, and in this it actually shows up as just Mr. because it takes the first word online. But I can go on here and I can actually have a lot more features for editing, just like the ones I showed you in previous workshops and things like that. Additionally, if I wanted to open it in my OneNote 2016, I would click that and it would open in OneNote. I could do it that way, and I can edit it in my OneNote 2016, and it shows up here among my other listed notebooks, and I can go through and I can edit my content library, my collaboration space, whatever it is I need to do. All right. That pretty much covers your main functions of a class team. It is a great opportunity to enhance your collaboration in your team, your class, and they would absolutely love this. I think as far as having conversations with one another, being able to work on group projects together, taking your class notebook and doing the same stuff that I've shown you in the other workshops and just enhancing it within Teams. Now, the last big feature I'm going to show you before we end this is additional tabs. Here you can tell that I've added an additional tab on mine called Flipgrid. Flipgrid is a recording app, and I've got it to where basically my class can just simply log on with their Office 365 account and they can record whatever I ask them to with their Flipgrid. And it's just a way to kind of put things there for really quick and easy access. And if you click the plus button, you'll see that all these different apps pop up. And I had Flipgrid up there. Well, if you notice, the different Microsoft apps like Excel, PowerPoint, Forms, PDS, which is Adobe actually, OneNote, they're all here. And what it does, it just adds a specific channel just for those kinds of files. Now I know you're thinking OneNote again. Why would you want OneNote again? Well, that's to add yet another OneNote notebook if you really wanted to. Additionally, you've got other apps that are non-Microsoft apps, but they do, you just have to play with some things and see, is this something I already use? Do I want to add this as part of my OneNote, or excuse me, my Microsoft team? And once you add that, everyone will have access from the team that you created. Well, that concludes this series of Microsoft OneNote workshops and an introduction of Teams. I hope you guys have learned a lot from this, and until next time, stay cool, stay techie, and be creative.